Hey guys, over the years, being an average video game fan, a lot of different video games have piqued my interest. I've played Minecraft consistently for about 4 years, and before I did that, I would watch my brother play Skywars, and before I did that, I watched YouTubers for much longer than I would like to admit. That being said, is Mojang, or the developers of Minecraft, actually a good company or are they a bad one when it comes to their practices? While other companies might not have the best practices, which have the good ones? Game developers are still trying to come up with the next big game to capture the hearts, minds, and wallets of their fans. I've noticed game companies such as EA getting a lot of hate for their practices. But is it deserved? On the surface, I'm inclined to say it is deserved, and I doubt that my opinion will change. But why is it? The simple answer may be that the time for development goes into making content that is behind a paywall after the initial purchase. FIFA would be a great example of this because of the initial cost of the game, and then the loot boxes that you have to buy in order to unlock the characters. On top of all that, a new game is released every single year, forcing you to buy it because the servers for the old game will be repurposed for new games. So if you're extremely nostalgic about games that you played in 2015 and you wanted to go play them, you wouldn't be able to. For example, FIFA 15 or FIFA 16 or whatever. I don't know. This is much different than other games such as Minecraft or Terraria. Although Minecraft does have their own servers called realms, they are not mandatory. Or I've never used them, so I wouldn't know. Where if you wanted to go back and play Minecraft, 17 years down the line, in theory you should still be able to, unless other issues arise such as compatibility not working with newer versions of OS. But even now, Minecraft has a lot of complications. They have two different versions of the game, which are drastically different from each other. There's Java and there's Bedrock. The biggest difference in my eyes is that in Java, you're able to have a level of customization that Bedrock just does not allow. You're able to set whatever version or release of the game that you would like to play, and well, just play it. In Bedrock, you're stuck with the newest versions, which does have all the newest iterations and stuff, but it doesn't allow you to go back and play all those nostalgic versions. The other big difference in my eyes is that Java is able to be customized in many ways that Bedrock cannot. Mod support is one of the biggest examples of this, as you can see in the background gameplay. The other big thing that I would like to touch on is that in Java, you're able to play with any texture pack you want for free, while in Bedrock you have to pay for it and you can only use the ones that are in the store. As mentioned before, Java has support for mods such as Optifine, which have revolutionized the game entirely, adding shader packs and giving a whole new spin on the game. The biggest difference, in my opinion, however, is how much the store in Bedrock is pushed onto you when you play that version. When you log on, the screen has three main buttons: play, settings, and market, which on its own is not bad, but it seems like they just want to push out content which will only make them money. They stop focusing on the community, and instead are focusing on their profits. In my eyes, all that is okay, because, that's how businesses are run. But what I really have a problem is that there's so many bugs in this game. So much, in fact, that multiple channels on YouTube are dedicated to finding those bugs and shedding light to them. Silent Whisper is one of those on YouTube, having a complete series literally called Bug Rock of the Week. Now, I know that the following statement might come out of a place of misunderstanding, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the number one most sold game has enough bugs in it for a person to make a living off of, reporting on it. Crazy. I do, however, want to bring this into a different light. Why are game companies spending so much time making skins, cosmetics, and worlds, in Minecraft's case, when just simply playing the game itself is a lot of times unenjoyable because of the bugs you run into them? It is just crazy to me. Minecraft used to be a small company, an indie developer, but as time grew and Mojang came to fame, so did their greed for money. An example of the opposite of this is happening would be Terraria, with over 9 years of updates, which were all free, after the initial purchase of course, and the amount of bugs is critically low compared to Minecraft and Apex. Not to mention the fact that small indie games such as Terraria cost $10, and they're like full-fledged games, and like big EA titles you know, for example, Battlefront 2 is 20 bucks. But if you wanted to unlock everything in the game, you'd have to spend roughly $2,100 on crates and loot boxes. Now, I do not have much experience with EA. I've only played one game by them, which is Apex Legends. But the same argument applies. Although Apex, you know, doesn't cost anything, there are many bugs in it, which drastically affect the game, like broken sound system and servers crashing, just booting everyone from the game randomly. But the skin store is where it's all at, and all the content is where it's all at. You have to spend money to get content. Let me give a real world example. It is as if there was a car brand which sold cars, but every time you turned the key and started the car, you would have to decline an offer to buy a pack of engine oil for $16.99. And that is before you can actually drive. And then, if you wanted to connect your phone to play music, for example, there would be a screen telling you, oh, please pay $2.99 to use the service for a month. And then, on top of all that, once you do pay the $2.99 to pay for that, 50% of the time it just wouldn't work, and no one would help you. And that's like all happens in these games. It's crazy to me. And not to mention the fact that a car and oil are physical things, while most games are digital, and it does not cost people to produce them anything. Like making it initially, yeah, but production, once they make it, none. In conclusion, or TLDR, big company is bad, small indie company is good. Until they become big companies, then they become bad. This has been Emil Gorin, and thank you for watching this video.